Hello, this is Sierra, and welcome to another video. Today we're reading chapter 24 of Hermitcraft Mayhem. You can probably tell from the title of the video, all that stuff. This is a Minecraft-inspired fanfiction, where I put Minecraft YouTubers that I watch and enjoy into a Minecraft inspired universe and see what happens. And, well, in this case, I'm focused on Hermitcraft. So, yeah, the hermits have a big part in this storyline. This is like... I don't even know which book it would be. But, yeah, let's get right into the video. Grian heard the soft murmurs of voices as he stirred. Warm sunlight tickled his face as he loosened his grip on his bed sheets. Fortunately, he no longer felt sore from the previous evening's fiasco. Falling from who knows how high, and landing on a minecart track that took him away from his friends. If it hadn't been for Impulse, Beat-Ups, and Isaac, he wouldn't be safe in his bed right now, surrounded by friends. Impulse. A lump formed in his throat, hating how his tears stung. He was out there somewhere, alone, at the mercy of the man who had already tried to kill him once. Was he okay? What's Conifer planning? Grian knew this man could send more after him. Why did he even need him to begin with? Did it have anything to do with Nettie and his other friends? His questions quieted as the murmuring drew closer. Liam and Jem were talking in whispers. Grian sensed the concern and worry in Jem's voice. This isn't good, Liam sighed. It sounded more like a defeated groan. I'll let the others know. We need to find him, Jem insisted. He warned us that trouble was coming. We will, Liam promised. I'll need Beat-Ups to let me know which direction he was taken to start a search. Southwest, Jem said matter-of-factly. You sure? I'm sure, Jem replied. Southwest from the cave we came out of. Okay. I'll talk to Matthias and make a few calls. Is there any way I can help? Jem offered. You could call my brother, Liam said. It'll move things along quicker. Sounds like a plan, Jem said cheerfully, followed by a door opening and closing. Silence fell over the sleepover room before the door opened a second time. Grian waited, unsure if he was the only one awake. Had Jem managed to reach Impulse? What had he told her? Grian reached out his mental hand toward his friend's link. Flickering images flashed into his thoughts. Impulse in a cave, hiding behind a boulder. Impulse pinned against the wall by slimy black vines. You may have power over the dream, but as long as I wear the headband, they have the power to pull me away. Grian peeked one eye open as he felt a wave of Jem's worry crash over him. Scar slept loudly in his bed across from him. Jelly had snuggled up by his side. Morning sunlight made the white on her fur glow. He waited a few more moments before sitting up in bed. It was just after sunrise, not quite midday, when most of his friends would wake up. Sure enough, Beat-Ups, Pearl, Joel, and the interns, the young protectors, were sound asleep. Grian turned to check on Kate, who slept in a bed next to him. Her expression was calm and peaceful, no sign of nightmares. Still no definitive answer as to whether or not Gerald was in there somewhere. Not willing to dwell on those thoughts, Grian pushed his blankets aside, hopping out of bed. Maybe he could surprise his friend with breakfast. His thoughts immediately turned to the night before, to the pantry, falling through a hole in the floor. Nope, he wasn't going to go there. He pushed the memory aside and headed straight for the open door. The hallway was quiet, but he knew where his friends would be. Grian stepped out of the empty. Grian stepped out into the empty hallway, looking both ways before slowly closing the door behind him, leaving it open, just a crack. The other bedroom door was open. Grian spotted Liam gently shaking Thias awake. Grian was relieved to see the adult protectors doing better. Soon everything would go back to normal. As normal as they could get, anyway. You could hear Jem's voice in the meeting room, whispering into the communicator. Someone whispering back? Grian frowned. Why was Jem being so cautious? Was she worried someone would overhear? Did Conover have any way to listen in to their conversations? Hadn't they gotten all of them when Campbell bugged the base before they moved in? But then, what stopped their enemies from adding more? Questions still spiraling, Grian made his way to the kitchen. Opening the door, he noticed the back door right away. It was open. Did someone leave it open last night? Grian scanned the room, looking for any sign of trouble. The room appeared empty. No telltale hint of invisibility bubbles either. The visibility detectors were on and working. You could see one just under the counter. Light still on. Grian tightened his grip on the handle, looking over his shoulder toward the main room. Jem was standing in the middle of the room, her back to him. She held a communicator in her hand, looking out the window. Grian prodded his connection with her, pulling back when wave after wave of questions filled his mind. She was scared for Impulse, worried that something horrible was about to happen. Conover is going to make his move soon. Her thoughts filled his mind. Grian swallowed, letting go of the door handle, and turning toward her. Jem? Jem whirled around, her green eyes wide with surprise. Grian, I didn't hear you get up. It's okay, I get it. There's lots going on, Grian chuckled. Crossing the hall and standing in the entryway of the main room. You talked to Impulse. Jem nodded, rubbing the back of her head. Beat-up skids. Scar and I were able to pull him into a memory. I was only able to talk to him for a few minutes before the guard found him. Found him? Grian asked. Jem nodded. Someone is monitoring his thoughts with the headband. He got away with telling us some things. Not everything? Jem sighed. Something scared him. It's not that hard. Grian smirked. Jem shook her head. This was worse. I was just talking to Sam about what Impy told me. Grian took a curious step forward. What did he say? Jem hesitated before answering. Richard's alive. What? How? He cloned himself, Jem said simply. They have a working clone machine. Stampy's clone machine, Jem corrected. That's not good. I know, Jem agreed, rubbing her arm with a hand. We'll put a stop to it. Does Impulse know why Conover wants a clone machine? He didn't say, but we can guess, Jem sighed, shaking her head. He's creating an army. No, Grian gasped, his eyes growing wide. Jem nodded grimly. Liam's going to get a team together to do a search. Sam's getting in touch with Stampy and Santiago to let them know. Good, Grian said, allowing himself to relax as he went to one of the armchairs. Do you know the back door is open? It is? Jem furrowed her brow. Yep. It's probably nothing. You can always look back at the footage. Jem shrugged. Kyle and his still has an uncompleted task. He's not going anywhere near you. Grian giggled nervously, leaning back against the cushion. Why do you think I'm here? Jem smiled. I'm sure it's fine. You got pretty burned yesterday. Unless he has a clone, he would be here. Grian swallowed. Would he? Jem's smile faded, the hermit glancing over her shoulder toward the hallway. Do you hear that? Hear what? Grian strained. Footsteps. It could be Liam or one of the others. Jem shook her head. Whoever this is trying not to be heard. Invisible? Possible. Jem said wearily. Grian slowly rose to his feet. That's when he heard a door creak open, followed by a shattering of glass. Liam! Jem called, grabbing Grian by the arm, pulling him toward the hallway. He scrambled after her, coming to a halt when he spotted something in the middle of the hall. A plume of bubbles and vapor in the shape of a person. The figure just stood outside the sleepover room, its head turned at the sound of Jem's voice. Huh, this makes my job easier, a disembodied voice chuckled as Grian's blood rankled. He has a clone, Grian squeaked as Jem pulled out her sword, taking a step forward in warning. Kyle laughed. So he was able to tell you about that? Interesting. We would have figured it out sooner or later, Jem insisted. Kyle snorted just as Liam appeared in the doorway of the other bedroom. Julia's right behind him. Perhaps it's just unfortunate for your friend. He was told not to talk to you. Or what? What will you do? Grian demanded. Kyle chuckled again, the figure now blurry as he moved around, making it harder for the protectors to make him out for a direct attack. I'm only here on strict orders, Grian. I'm not going anywhere with you, Grian snapped. Oh, but I think you are. Invisible hands grabbed him from behind. Grian yelped, trying to pull away as he was flung backward, pinned against the assassin's chest as something cold touched its neck. Grian! Liam gasped. Jem whirled around, attempting to lunge at the man. Grian was pulled just out of her reach as Kyle snickered. I wouldn't be too hasty, Gemini. Not unless he wants someone to get hurt. Let him go, Kyle, Julius warned, pulling out his sword. Both boys stood side by side, their gaze locked on Grian with the man holding him. And the man holding him. Sorry. Conifer has other plans, I'm afraid, Kyle shrugged. What about Richard? Liam raised an eyebrow. Kyle snorted. This is none of your business. Grian is my charge. His safety is my business. Oh, he'll be very safe where he's going, Kyle said smugly, taking a step back when Jem tried to lunge for Grian again. So long as you stay out of our way. I don't think that'll be necessary, a voice spoke up from behind. Kyle gasped as he was ripped away from Grian, his weapon clattering to the floor. Grian turned around in time to see False wrestling the man to a wall, pitting him there. Sam stood in the kitchen doorway, an amused look on his face. Seriously, I thought you would have learned a thing or two after last time. Sam shook his head, pulling out a rope as Kyle flickered into view, the potion wearing off. Kyle scowled, squirming against False, but the iron stare she gave him squelched the last bit of the man's resistance. She was not taking no for an answer. Are you okay, G? Liam appeared at Grian's side. The young hermit noticed Jem and False exchanging knowing smiles. Apparently Kyle hadn't thought of everything before he showed up for round 2. I'm fine, Grian sighed, shaking his head. What do we do with him? False gestured with her head in Kyle's direction. Deal with him and make it quick, Liam replied. We could try the headband on him to see if there's anything he could tell us, Jem suggested. Liam nodded. That's fine, just be careful. Trust me, we will. Right, she? There was a mischievous smile on her face. Of course, Grian replied, meeting the protector's eyes. Any sign of trouble, and we're out. Liam seemed satisfied by that as he disappeared into the sleepover room. Julius walked over to False, taking Kyle from her and dragging him to the main room. Grian and Sam followed right behind him, taking their seats, waiting for Liam to return with the headbands they would need. Should we stay close, just in case? False poked her head into the room. It couldn't hurt, Jem said with a bright smile. False nodded, disappearing from view. Grian's eyes didn't leave the man that now sat right in front of him. They finally had one of Gerald's own men in their custody. Sure, he was a clone, but an opportunity was an opportunity. They couldn't pass up this chance. That, my friends, is the end of the chapter and the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. All that fun stuff. You guys enjoyed, and chapter 25 will give you a tease. We are going into Impulse again. And we may or may not have a conversation. It's Franklin Campbell's, Theodore Campbell's son, who was revived through a strand of hair. Of course, I'm taking some liberties with Stampy's clone machine. I don't think Stampy is going to mind. I don't think Stampy would mind. It's the sort of thing these guys would do. So, yeah. Use what they get and make it better. Or worse. In Nick's case. But that's it for now. I'm rambling. I'll see you guys in the next one. Whenever that might be. Goodbye.